Buenos dias. Welcome to Rise and Shine broadcast. Talking about this book right here, The Artist's Way. Uh, I guess we found out that Jimmy was the person who inspired, or not inspired, I don't know what the word is, but this book got around in my circle of friends. Shout out to my friend Shauna. This video is going, I wanted to make this video to send to my friends and then to extend the invitation to whoever is watching today who will be interesting. So I'm just literally reading out of her book because she explains what I would like to form or be part of um, in the best way. So Artist Way. This is from Julia Cameron, and she writes Forming a Sacred Circle. When I was a little kid, one of my favorite heroes was Johnny Appleseed. I love the idea of a vagrant wanderer traveling America. Apple blossoms in his wake. It is my hope that this book will also create blossoming, that artists and circles of artists will spring into being. Trusting this to be the case, the following essay is extended for use in establishing your own artist circle. It is my experience as a teacher that I'm in that an atmosphere of safety and trust is critical to creative growth. I have found these guidelines to be helpful in establishing that atmosphere. So let's read on. So the sacred circle. Okay, the mic is on the way. Okay. Hopefully you guys still can hear me. All right. The sacred circle. Art is an act of the soul, not the intellect. When we are dealing with people's dreams, their visions, really, we are in the realm of the sacred. We are involved with forces and energies larger than our own. We are engaged in a sacred transaction of which we know only a little, the shadow, not the shape. For these reasons, it is mandatory that my gathering of artists be in the spirit of a sacred trust. We invoke the great creator when we invoke our own creativity. And that creative force has the power to alter lives, fulfill destinies, answer our dreams. In our human lives, Poppy agrees, we are often impatient, ill tempered, inappropriate. We find it difficult to treat ourselves intimates with the love we really hold for them. Despite this, they bear with us because of the larger, higher level of family that they honor even in our outbursts. Oh, interesting. I just read that. I don't know how many times I read that, but today that popped out different. Wow. This is their commitment. As artists, we belong to an ancient and holy tribe. We are the carriers of the truth. The Spirit moves through us all. When we deal with one another, we are dealing not merely with our human personalities, but also with the unseen but ever present throng of ideas, visions, stories, poems, songs, sculpture, art as facts that crowd the temple of consciousness, waiting their turn to be born. We are meant to midwife dreams for one another. We cannot labor in place of one another, but we can support the labor that each must undertake to birth his or her art and foster it to maturity. It is for all these reasons that the sacred circle must exist in any place of creation. It is this protective ring, this soul boundary that enlivens us at our highest level. By drawing and acknowledging the sacred circle, we declare principles to be above personalities. We invite a spirit of service to the highest good and a faith in the accomplishment of our own good in the midst of our fellows. Envy, backbiting, criticism have no place in our midst, nor do ill temper, hostility, sarcasm. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Chivvying for precision. These attitudes may belong in the world, but they do not belong among us in our place as artists. Success occurs in clusters. Oh, wow. So true. Drawing a sacred circle creates a sphere of safety and a center of attraction for our good. By filling this form faithfully, we draw to us the best. We draw the people we need. We attract the gifts we could best employ. The sacred circle is built on respect and trust. The image is of the garden. Each plant has its name and its place. There's no one flower that cancels the need for another. Each blooms as its unique and irreplaceable beauty. Let our gardening hands be gentle ones. Let us not root up one another's ideas before they have time to bloom. Let us bear with the process of growth, dormancy, cyclic, I don't know, Cyclity, fruition and receding. Let us never be hasty to judge, reckless in our urgency to force unnatural growth. Let there be always a place for the artist toddler to try, to falter, to fail, to try again. Let us remember that in nature's world, every loss has meaning. The same is true for us. Turn to good use. A creative failure may be the compost that nourishes next season's creative success. Remember, we are in this for the long haul, the ripening and harvest, not the quick fix. Art is an act of the soul. Ours is a spiritual community. I have been working, I've been a working artist for 25 years, and for the past 15, I have taught creative recovery. In that time, I've had an ample opportunity to experience firsthand what it means to lack creative support and what it means to find it. Often, it is the difference between success and failure, between hope and despair. What we are talking about here is the power of breaking isolation. As if any other recovery process, this act is a potent first step. Creative recovery, like any other recovery, may be facilitated by the company of like-minded people. For recovery from something, 12-step groups seem to work especially well. For recovery to something, creative clusters show remarkable results. When people ask me what I think in the single most important factor in an artist's sustained productivity, I know I am supposed to say something like that: solitude, or an independent income, or childcare. All of these things are good, and many people have said so. But what I think is better and more important than any of these things is what I call a believing mirror. Put simply, a believing mirror is a friend to your creativity. someone who believes in you and your creativity. As artists, we can consciously build what I call creative cluster, a sacred circle of believing mirrors to punctuate each other's growth, to mirror a yes to each other's creativity. In my experience, we can benefit greatly from the support of others who share our dreams in living a fuller life. Yes. I suggest forming a weekly cluster and going through the exercises in the book together. Hmm. Sharing and comparing each other. Often, someone else's breakthrough insight can trigger one of our own. Remember, we live in a culture that is toxic to art. A remarkable number of toxic myths about artists flourish. In addition to our pur- hmm? in addition to our purportedly being broke, irresponsible, drug riddled, and crazy, artists are also deemed selfish, out of touch with reality. Megalomaniacs, Terrence, deprives, no, depressives, and above all, people who want to be left alone. At the very least, we are sure we will be. Ask budding artists why they're afraid to move deeply into their creativity, and they will tell you, I'm not sure I want to spend the rest of my life alone. In America, we seem to confuse artists with cowboys. We see artists as self contained, driven loners who are always riding off into the sunset to do our thing alone. If you'll pardon the joke, the cowboy analogy is so much bull. Most of us enjoy a little company. One of our great culture secrets is the fact that artists like other artists. Think about it for just a second. What did the Impressionists paint? Lunch with each other. Hmm. What did the Bloomsbury group write about? Dining out with and gossiping about each other. Whom did John Cassavetes, hopefully I pronounced your last name correctly, make films with? His friends. Why? Because they believe in one another and enjoy helping each other realize their dreams. Artists like other artists. We are not supposed to know this. We are encouraged to believe there is only so much room at the top. Hooey. Water seeks its own level and water rises collectively. Artists often help each other. We always have, although mythology tells us otherwise, or mythology, excuse me. The truth is that when we do, very powerful things happen. I will give a case in point. Film director Martin, sorry about your last name. This Martin developed, shaped, and fine-tuned the script of the honey, how do you pronounce? I know this. Shine. I never know how. Something list. Oh my gosh, I read this as a child. I was in high school.
Shine.
Schindler.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
Schindler.
Schindler's List. I remember. They gave the project to his friend Steven Spielberg, feeling the material should be his. So funny. You guys go watch the TED Talk about Spark. So good. This unballyhooed act of creative generosity finally gave Spielberg his shot at an Oscar as a real director. Even though Scorsese, so sorry, knew it might
Scorsese.
Scorsese, thank you, knew it might cost him his own shot, at least this year. And yet, to read about it in the press, these men were pitted against each other, artists versus artists, like athletes from warring nations in our in our mini wars, the Olympics. Ooh. Oh, how do you pronounce Hooi?
Hui.
Hui. Okay, I said it earlier, correct. Hui again. Success occurs in clusters. Oh, hello. Someone said hello. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Reading from the artist way. Success occurs in clusters. As artists, we must find those who believe in us and in whom we believe and band together for support, encouragement, and protection. I remember sitting in a hotel room 20 years ago with two then little known directors, Brian De Palma and Steven Spielberg. How is it? Scorsese? James.
Huh?
Scorsese?
Scorsese, I think. You're trying to say?
I'm sorry, dude. Then my fiance, oh, it was her fiance, Julia. Okay, cool. Was off in France, and I was being consoled over takeaway pizza by his two friends. Okay. Spielberg was talking about a film he longed to make about the UFO phenomenon. There was scant support for the project, and Spielberg was discouraged, although the project itself excited him. What to do? De Palma encouraged him to follow his heart and make that piece of art. That movie became Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I've never seen it. Now I want to see it. Okay. I tell you this story not to drop names, but to make the point that even the most illustrations among art ranks as artists were not always illustrations and won't ever be beyond the fears and doubts that are part of creative territory. These fears and doubts will always, for all of us, be something to move through with little help from our friends. We all start out the same, rich in dreams and nothing more. If we are lucky, we find friends to believe in our dreams with us. When we do, that creative cluster becomes a magnet to attract our good. Oh, it's Barb! Barb! Yay! Are you enjoying this? I hope you are. We all start out the same. All right, I already read that. Okay, moving on. I have been teaching the artist way for a long time. I've discovered that while I don't believe in a quick fix, rapid and sustained creative gains can be made, especially if people are willing to band together in clusters. When I travel to teach, it is with the goal of leaving creative clusters behind me in each locale so that people can work together to nurture and support each other over the long haul. In Chicago, there's a cluster that has been together for years. The group began with questions like, will I ever be able to write again? And I like to try to improve, but I'm scared. And I really want to produce. And I like to write a play. Years later, the cluster is the same, but the questions are very different. Who's throwing Janie's Emmy nomination party? And should Pam do her third play for the same theater company? As creative people, we are meant to encourage one another. That was my goal in writing The Artist's Way, and it is my goal in teaching it. Your goal, your goal, it is my hope, is to encourage each other's dreams as well as your own. Creative ideas are brain children. Brain children. Interesting. Like all children, they must be birthed, and this birthing is both a personal and collective experience. It is my privilege recently to midwife a book in my own creative cluster. My friend Sonia Choquette, a gifted sight chick, is that how you say it? Sight chick? I am so sorry. And teacher, was able to shape her long years of experience into an invaluable toolkit, the side chick pathway. I hope I pronounce it right. As her friend, I receive her book as nightly installments on my fax machine. That's so funny. You guys remember the fax machine? I will fax her back, believing in her when she, like all artists, had trouble believing in herself. Raised, like so many of us, to hide her creative light under a bushel lest her dazzle diminish the light of others. Wow. Sonia experienced doubt, fear, and deepening faith as she moved past these creative barriers into creative birth. I know there are those among you who fear undertaking projects that seem to demand many dark nights of the soul. Let me suggest to you that such nights may also be in the beautiful Spanish words noches estrelladas. And I know I circled that, but that is hitting me like I'm reading it for the first time. Wow. Star studded. Like neighboring constellations, we can serve each other both as guides and as company. In walking your artist's way, my deepest wish for you is the company of fellow lights and the generosity to light each other's way as we each pass temporarily into darkness. Wow. Know this well: success occurs in clusters and is born in generosity. Let us form constellations of believing mirrors and move into our powers. Wow. Told you that this lady wrote this so perfectly. So here are the sacred circle rules. I like to say guidelines, but anyway, she said rules, so let's listen. One, creativity flourishes in a place of safety and acceptance. Two, creativity grows among friends, withers amongst enemies. Wow. Three, all creative ideas are children who deserve our protection. Four, all creative success requires creative failure. Five, fulfilling our creativity is a sacred trust. Six, violating someone's creativity violates a sacred trust. Seven, creative feedback must support the creative child, never shame it. Eight, creative feedback must build on strength, never focus on weaknesses. Nine, success occurs in clusters and is born in generosity. 10. The good of another can never block our own. Above all, God is the source. No human power can deflect our good or create it. We are all conduits of a higher self that will work through us. We are all equally connected to a spiritual source. We do not always know which among us will teach us best. We are all meant to cherish and serve one another. The artist's way is tribal. The spirit of service yields us our dharma. That right path we dream of following in our own best and most fulfilled moments of faith. And then there's an artist's prayer that I will end with. O great Creator, we are gathered together in your name that we may be of greater service to you and to our fellows. We offer ourselves to you as instruments. We open ourselves to your creativity in our lives. We surrender to you our old ideas. We welcome your new and more expansive ideas. We trust that you will lead us. We trust that it is safe to follow you. We know you created us and that creativity is your nature and our own. We ask you to unfold our lives according to your plan, not our low self worth. Help us to believe that it is not too late and that we are not too small or too flawed. Reading from the appendix of The Artist's Way, looking to people to join our sacred circle. I am thinking March. For those who know me, you know how to reach me via phone, text. Let's get in a face to face. And those who are new, or if you want to pass it along to someone that you know is looking for a same um, protection and trust and sacred trust of artists, please send them this video. Barb, you rock. Thanks for joining me today. I felt like I was right next to you reading by a fireplace. Love you, girl. Thank you for those who are watching. I hope to hear from those who are interested. Oh, I love that you enjoyed it. Bye, everyone. It's